Have you ever asked yourself, why aren't I richer? You're smart, you work hard, but somehow financial success seems just out of reach. What if the key to wealth isn't just about working hard, but knowing a few simple yet powerful secrets? Today, I'm excited to share with you some simple but life-changing rules about money that can really make a difference. These aren't complicated theories or boring lectures, just straightforward, practical tips that can help you grow your wealth. So, grab a cup of coffee, relax, and let's explore these easy-to-understand secrets that can put you on the path to financial success. The illusion of limitless spending is like thinking you have an endless amount of money to spend, just because you start earning more. Imagine this. Every time you get a raise at work, you decide to buy more expensive things or go on fancier vacations, thinking you can afford it now. But here's the catch. As you make more money, you also start spending more, almost without noticing. This can be a problem because you end up using all your extra money on things you might not really need, instead of saving or investing it. It's like being on a treadmill. You're moving but not really getting ahead and saving money. The trick to avoid this is to be careful with your spending. Even if you earn more, try to keep your expenses the same. This way you can save the extra money and use it to grow your wealth over time. Remember, it's not just about how much money you make, but how much you can save and use wisely that really helps you build wealth. Money and insecurities are closely linked, but more money doesn't mean less insecurities. It's like this. Sometimes people buy really expensive things like a fancy car or a big house thinking it will make them feel better or more important. But the truth is, these feelings don't last long. You might still feel unsure about yourself, and you could end up in a cycle of always wanting to buy more stuff to feel better. But this doesn't really solve anything and can just end up costing a lot of money. The real way to deal with these feelings isn't to spend more, but to focus on feeling good about yourself in other ways. Building your confidence and being happy with who you are is more important and helpful in the long run than just buying things. Spending time on personal growth and learning to like yourself for who you are is a much better investment than trying to hide your worries with expensive stuff. The wisdom of keeping wealth under wraps means it's better to be quiet about how much money you have. When you have a lot of money, you might want to show it off, but this can cause problems. For example, if people know you are rich, they might act like your friend or want to work with you just because they want something from you, not because they really like or respect you. Also, if too many people know about your wealth, some might get jealous or try to trick you. It's smarter to keep quiet about your money. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy what you've earned, but being quiet about it helps you avoid problems. This way, you can focus on making your money grow and enjoy it without unnecessary trouble. Rising expenses over time means that as you get older, you usually end up spending more money. Think about it like this. When you're younger, your costs might be simple, maybe just rent, food, and a bit of fun. But as life goes on, things change. You might buy a house, have kids, or need to take care of your health, and all of these things cost money. Plus, as you start making more money, you might want to buy nicer stuff, and that costs more too. If your income doesn't go up as your expenses do, it can be tough to keep up. That's why it's smart to think about ways to make more money as you get older. By knowing that your costs will probably go up over time, you can plan better for the future. This way, you won't be surprised by higher bills and can live comfortably at every stage of your life. Cash isn't always king means that just having a lot of money in cash isn't always the best idea. This is because of something called inflation. That's when things get more expensive over time, like how a loaf of bread costs more now than it did a few years ago. If you keep all your money as cash, it might not be worth as much in the future because it can't buy as much as it used to. Smart people often put their money into things like houses or stocks, which can increase in value and make more money over time. This helps them stay ahead of inflation. So, while it's good to have some cash for things you need right now, or in case of emergencies, it's not the best plan to keep all your money that way. It's usually better to invest some of your money in different things that can grow in value, so you stay financially strong as time goes on. The trap of unnecessary spending is when you spend money on things you don't really need, and it can cause money problems. It's a common mistake to make, especially when you see something you like and think, I have enough money, so it's okay to buy this. But even small things can add up to a lot of money. For instance, if you're always buying the newest phone, eating out a lot, or shopping for clothes just because they're in fashion, it might feel nice at first. But later, you might realize you could have used that money for more important stuff, like saving for a bigger goal or paying off debts. Spending too much on things you don't need can also make you worried about money, especially if you spend more than what you make. To avoid this, it's good to think about what you really need compared to what you just want. It's all about making smart choices with your money and keeping your bigger financial goals in mind. Small steps to big wealth means that to get rich, you don't always have to do big things. Sometimes small actions are enough. It's like going on a long walk. Every little step might not seem important, but when you put them all together, they can take you really far. For example, saving just a little bit of money regularly, like a few dollars every week, might not look like much at first. But as time goes on, this little bit of money can grow into a lot, especially if you invest it in a good way. It's also about making simple choices every day, like not spending too much on things you don't need or finding small ways to make a bit of extra cash. These might be small actions, but they can have a big impact if you keep doing them over a long time. So the secret to making a lot of money is to start with small, easy steps and keep at it. The dangers of greed are about how wanting too much money can actually cause problems. When you're really greedy, you might rush into decisions about money without thinking them through, just because you want to get rich quick. This can be risky, like putting your money into something you don't really understand or trying shortcuts that might not be safe. Greed can also hurt your relationships with other people. You might start caring about money more than your friends or family, which can make you feel lonely or make people upset with you. Plus, always wanting more money can make you stressed and unhappy because you're never satisfied with what you have. It's important to remember that making money should be about smart choices and planning, not just trying to get as much as possible without thinking about the risks or what really matters in life. Exploring diverse investment avenues means looking at different ways to invest your money, not just the usual options like stocks or buying a house. It's about finding investment opportunities that fit you personally. For example, instead of just putting your money in the stock market, maybe starting a small business is better for you, especially if you have a special skill or passion. Or, if you really like something like photography or computer programming, spending money on classes or equipment to get better at it could be a good investment. This way of thinking about investments is not just about trying to make money fast. It's also about growing your talents and doing what you love, which can also help you earn money in the long run. It means thinking creatively and choosing investments that really interest you and fit with your own goals, not just doing what everyone else does. Understanding money's limitations means knowing that money isn't everything. Sure, money is good for taking care of your basic needs like a place to live, food, and keeping you safe for the future. But there are lots of important things that money can't buy. For example, no matter how much money you have, it can't buy true happiness or real friends who care about you. It can't give you the love of your family or the fun of laughing with your best friend. Understanding this helps you see that while it's good to work hard for money, you should also enjoy life and spend time with people you care about. Remembering that money has its limits helps you focus on what's really important, like being happy and having a good life, not just having a lot of money. The easier path at higher financial levels means that once you start having more money, it becomes easier to make even more money. It's like climbing a hill. The beginning is the hardest part. When you're just starting to save money or make your first big investment, it can be tough. You're still learning about how to handle money and might be living on a tight budget. But once you've saved a good amount, like your first $10,000, or bought something big like a house, things start getting easier. You've learned a lot by then, and you have more money to work with. This means you can find better ways to invest and grow your money. So, the more money you make, the more chances you have to make even more money. It's like once you get going, each step of making money gets a bit easier than the one before. The 80-20 rule in finances, also known as the Pareto principle, is a simple way to think about your money. It says that in many parts of life, including how you handle your money, 80% of the good results come from just 20% of what you do. For managing your money, this means that just a few of your actions can make a big difference. For example, you might notice that most of the money you save comes from a couple of smart habits, or that most of your income is from a small part of your job or investments. Knowing this rule helps you focus on the things that really help your finances. Instead of trying to do lots of different things, you can concentrate on the few important things that have the biggest positive effect, like cutting down on certain big expenses or putting more effort into the most profitable part of your work. The reality of banking and personal wealth is about knowing what banks do with your money. When you deposit money in a bank, they don't just keep it there. They use it to give loans to others and earn interest. This is called fractional reserve banking. While this helps the economy, it means your money isn't just sitting in your account. The interest you get from a bank is usually very small compared to what the bank makes. So, just saving money in a bank isn't the best way to grow your wealth. It's often better to look into other ways to increase your money, like making investments, which can be more effective for building wealth over time. Remember, it's the small things you do regularly and the smart choices you make that help you build up your wealth over time. I'd love to hear what you think about all this. Have you got any stories or tips about saving money or how you handle your finances? Please share them in the comments below. Your ideas and experiences can help everyone learn more and get better at managing their money. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.